Have you ever looked at an old map and wondered what stories it holds? What if I told you about a place that existed on charts for centuries? A phantom island that cartographers meticulously drew, only for it to vanish into thin air. Today, we are diving into the mystery of one of the world's most famous lost lands, the bizarre island that appeared and disappeared on maps. Picture this: it is the year 1435. An Italian navigator named Owain Pizzigano creates a detailed portolan chart, a type of nautical map used by pilots. On this chart, far out in the Atlantic west of the Azores, he draws a large rectangular island. He labels it Antillia, the island of the seven cities. This wasn't just some doodle. It was presented as a real place, a destination, and for the next several centuries it stayed that way. Map after map, created by the most respected geographers of the time, faithfully included Antillia. It was as real on paper as Portugal or Spain. So, where did it come from? The legend behind Antillia is as fascinating as the island itself. The story goes that in the 8th century, when the Moors invaded the Iberian Peninsula, seven Visigothic bishops fled by sea. They sailed westward, seeking refuge from the conflict, and eventually landed on a large, fertile island. There, they founded seven prosperous cities, burning their ships to ensure they could never be forced to leave. This tale of a Christian utopia, a safe haven hidden across the ocean, captured the imagination of Europe. It became a symbol of hope and discovery, a paradise waiting to be found. The name itself, Antillia, is thought to mean the island opposite, hinting at its location far across the Atlantic. For centuries, this legend fueled the dreams of explorers. They weren't just searching for new trade routes. They were searching for a lost kingdom, a real life Shangri La. The quest for Antillia became a serious obsession. Throughout the 15th century, numerous expeditions set sail from Portugal with the explicit goal of finding this phantom land. Imagine the excitement and the pressure on these sailors. They were armed with maps that showed them exactly where to go, yet every time they returned with the same report. There was nothing there, just endless, empty ocean. It is a bit like following a GPS that leads you to a vacant lot where a skyscraper is supposed to be. Did they miss it? Was it cloaked in fog? Or was something else going on? Even Christopher Columbus was intrigued by the idea. Some historians believe that the legend of Antillia was one of the factors that convinced him there was land to be found by sailing west. He thought he might be sailing towards Antillia, not a new continent. In a way, the Phantom Island played a role in the discovery of the Americas. So, if it wasn't real, why did it persist on maps for so long? This is where cartography gets tricky. In the age before satellite imagery and GPS, mapmakers relied on sailors' reports, ancient texts, and even rumors. An error made on one influential map could be copied for generations. No cartographer wanted to be the one to remove a potential landmass, especially one backed by a powerful legend and reported by other navigators. It was safer to include it than to be proven wrong. Furthermore, these islands served a purpose. They filled the vast, intimidating emptiness of the Atlantic Ocean, making it seem less daunting and more navigable. They were geographical placeholders born from a mix of myth, misinterpretation, and wishful thinking. Think of it like a piece of popular misinformation today. Once it's out there, it's incredibly hard to retract, especially when people want to believe it. As the age of exploration progressed and sailors charted the Atlantic with greater and greater accuracy, the space for phantom islands began to shrink. The coastlines of the Americas became clearer, and the vast ocean didn't hold as many secrets. By the 16th century, Antillia started to fade from newer, more scientific maps. It retreated back into the world of legend, its job as a geographical stepping stone complete, but its legacy lived on. The name Antillia didn't disappear entirely. It gave its name to the real archipelago we know today as the Antilles in the Caribbean, the Greater and Lesser Antilles. So, in a strange twist of fate, the Phantom Island, that never was, ended up naming a very real part of our world. It's a testament to how powerful a story can be, shaping not just our maps, but our language and our understanding of the globe. But Antillia wasn't alone. It was part of a whole family of phantom islands that haunted the Atlantic for centuries. There was the island of Brassel, a mythical circular island shrouded in mist that was said to appear off the coast of Ireland only once every 7 years. Expeditions searched for it well into the 19th century. There was also St. Brendan's Isle, a promised land of the saints said to have been discovered by an Irish monk in the 6th century. These weren't just cartographical errors. They were expressions of human longing for the unknown, for paradise, for a world beyond the horizon. They represent a time when the map wasn't fully drawn, when anything seemed possible, and when a story could literally put an island on the map. They were the blank spaces labeled "Here be dragons," but instead of dragons, people imagined utopias. So, what are the leading theories for these phantom islands? One popular explanation is misidentification. Sailors might have seen a large fog bank, a mirage, or even a massive field of seaweed and mistaken it for land. The Sargasso Sea, a vast patch of ocean filled with floating sargassum weed, is often cited as a possible source for some of these legends. Another theory points to navigational errors before precise chronometers. Calculating longitude was incredibly difficult. A ship could be hundreds of miles off course without realizing it, mistaking a known island for a new discovery. And finally, there's the simple power of legend. The story of the seven cities was so compelling that people expected to find Antilia. This confirmation bias could lead them to interpret any ambiguous sign, a distant cloud, a flock of birds, as proof of the island's existence. It's a classic case of seeing what you want to see. The story of Antilia teaches us a valuable lesson about knowledge and discovery. It shows how our maps of the world are not just objective representations of reality, but are also shaped by our beliefs, our hopes, and our mistakes. For centuries, Antilia was real to the people who drew it, sought it, and told stories about it. Its disappearance from the map marks a major shift in human history, the transition from a world of myth and legend to one of scientific measurement and verification. It's the moment we started trusting data more than stories, but in losing these phantom islands, did we also lose a little bit of magic? A little bit of the wonder that comes from believing there is still a paradise waiting to be found, just over the horizon. Today, our world is almost completely mapped. Satellites can photograph every square inch of the Earth's surface. The idea of a lost island seems impossible, and yet the allure of the unknown persists. We still tell stories of lost cities and hidden worlds, from Atlantis to El Dorado. The mystery of Antilia reminds us that the map is never truly finished. It reminds us to question what we think we know and to keep exploring, not just the physical world, but the worlds within our own imagination. The greatest discoveries, after all, often begin not with a map, but with a story. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of Phantom Islands. It's a fascinating slice of history that shows how myth can shape reality. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more historical mysteries with me, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. What are some of your favorite historical mysteries? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.